Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending July 20th, 2022. You know, the numbers that I'm put together are a really good indication of what's going on in the market. In this particular video, I'm talking about Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. And it's going to really tell you what's going on with the detached market, what's going on with the condo market. But it's not a way for you to price your home or to figure out what kind of offer to put on a property. Some of you have called me and talked about, you see my chart and you know prices are going this way, and you feel that that's the exact situation with your home. And I can't comment on that. Your home, the dynamics around your neighborhood, your home type, all have its own little universe basically, and your home is going to react to the market differently. But what I'm giving you is an average for the area. It's an accurate average, but it's still an average that brings all the detached markets, for example, for Vaughan, that's an average price or a median price. But again, your home or the home you're looking to put an offer on is going to have its own set of dynamics. So don't use this to price a property. Use the numbers I'm giving you to get a really good understanding of what's happening in the market. Comments. I love reading the comments. Sometimes I say to myself, let me take 10 minutes. I'll respond to a few comments. It's so entertaining. Next thing I know, 30, 40 minutes has gone by and I'm like, where'd the time go? I do want to comment though on, some of you are asking me for very detailed information. You want prices, say, for only 3-bedroom detached and separate prices for 4-bedroom or 2-bedroom condos. Look, use what I'm giving you now as a general understanding, a very good understanding of what the market is doing, but you really need to speak with a specific realtor for your property's individual situation. So I'm going to say that. And as far as the comments go, the last comment I'm going to make here is that if you feel the need to put someone else down or their comments down in order to get your point across, that's not cool. And you probably don't have a good point to make if the only way to make it is to put someone else's point down. So lots of discussion, lots of comments. Let's keep it friendly. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure my schedule's open so I'm able to talk to you about whatever's on your mind. And if any of you are golfers, I'm assuming you're familiar with Beacon Hall Golf Course in Aurora. Well, we have a property that's getting ready to go on the market. This home is actually better than new because it's had a complete full renovation. We're getting ready to put on the market. So if you're interested in living right on the golf course in one of the best golf courses in Canada, or you want a beautiful gated community to live in, give us a call. Let's get into the numbers. Here we have Vaughan. Detached properties broken down for a year. Last week ending July 20th, only 24 detached properties were sold. Now, when's the last time we sold 24? Well, the week before we did 21, the week before that 15, 25, 20, 23. We've been at these low numbers for a long time, and to sell in the 20s on a weekly basis is really low. Sales are way down, and I'll let you know year over year how low they are actually. Average sold price is $1,657,000. The peak, when are we going to stop talking about the peak? I'm not sure yet, but the peak, we're at 2.3. We are now at 1657, which is basically exactly where we were last year this time. Now, a few times we've been kind of higher than last year, lower than last year, but right now we're basically where we were at last year's average sold price. We're actually a little bit lower. It's 0.2% less than what it was last year, the average sold price, but rounded, it's at 0%. Median price is 4% higher than where median price was a year ago. 3 months ago, median price was a little bit over 1.9, 1.8, 1.9. We're now at 1,545,000 for the median price for Vaughan detached properties. Looking at sales year to date. Well, let me just say the orange, those are this year's sales. The blue, that's last year's sales. You can see the big difference. Year to date sales this year versus last year. 41% fewer sales this year than last year. That's a big number, 41%. And of the 24 that sold, 29%, it's not a lot. I mean, it's 29% sold at list price or more. When we look at listings, we have 13% fewer listings this year than what we had last year, year to date. And months of inventory came down a little bit. It's now sitting at 3.3 months of inventory, and average days on market is 23. Richmond Hill, only 12 properties were sold in Richmond Hill. You know, as sales being this slow, it's really difficult to try to get an accurate average price. Now, average just on its own is a generalized number. And I know lots of you, especially I read it in the comments, don't use average, don't use median, use this, use that. Look, average has its place and it gives us a really good indication. But when sales are this slow, it's really hard to get a good, accurate average or median number. So in this case, 12 detached properties were sold. 6 of them, half, were at $2 million or more. I don't know where these properties came from, but some of these properties, actually all of these properties selling at $2 million or more would have been much more expensive later. I've looked at the properties. Prices have come down quite a bit, but average sold price, because of the few sales and half selling at $2 million or more, average sold price is now at $2,049,000. That doesn't mean that the value of your home went up. It all depends on what's happening, and that's the indication of this average sold number. Well, this average price is 7% higher than last year. The median price, just because we're only looking at 12 and half of them are at $2 million or more, median price is up 21% from where it was a year ago. I'm telling you, that is not the most accurate number, but that's the number we have right now. Year-to-date sales, they're down 39%, 39 fewer sales this year versus last year, 19% fewer listings this year versus last year, and months of inventory, because the sales were so low, and we're looking at the sales in relation to how many properties are actually available for sale. When sales are that low, months of inventory goes up. We have 4.8 months of inventory, very much sitting in a balanced market between 4 to 6 months. It's going to feel like a buyer's market, however. Average days on market is 18. Markham, only 14 detached properties were sold in Markham. Can you imagine? Like, lots of houses, lots of detached properties, only 14 were sold. 4 of those were at $2 million or more. Average sold price has gone up, $1,897,000. However, I would still be saying average sold price is going down. Because of such few sales, it kind of skews the numbers a bit. So average sold price currently is 11% higher than where it was a year ago, but the week before that it was 5% lower, then 4% lower, and 1% lower. I would venture to say that we're going to see it come back in line to being lower than what it was a year ago. Median price is 1% lower than where it was a year ago. Sales, year-to-date sales, 49% fewer sales. So half the production, half the volume of detached properties has been taken out of the market. Listings, 26% fewer listings this year versus last year. Again, it's year-to-date. And months of inventory is sitting at 3.5. Average days on market is 17. Keep in mind, here's, when you have such few sales and the dynamics of the market right now, you got to wonder, well, if properties are sitting out there longer, how come months average days on market is 17? Well, it's the reverse of what I used to say before. When months of inventory were really, really low, of 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and days on market was like 10, 11, and you saw properties selling right away. Why was days on market so high? Well, that's because people were listing their properties and having an offer date. So they were on purpose saying, no, you can't buy it now. You got to wait for a week or 10 days, and then we're going to look at offers. So that was artificially bringing the days on market up. Well, now it's the reverse. Properties are being listed, not sold, relisted, and at some point they get the right price and boom, it sells right away. Well, days on market is the listing days on market. It's not the property days on market. So it might show that the average days on market is lower than what you're seeing homes listed for. You might look at your neighborhood and say, well, this property's been up there for 3 weeks. Well, or 3 months. Well, if the last price reduction they did, it got sold right away. So they canceled, relisted with the new price, and then got sold right away. It's going to show just that last listing in these numbers. It's important to understand what the numbers represent. Okay, York Region condos. 28 condos were sold. That's it. Only 28 across all York Region. None of them sold at $1 million or more, and the average sold price is $666,000 rounded, which is 3% higher than where the average price was a year ago. So average sold price 3% higher. Median price at $655,000 is 4% higher than where the median price was a year ago. Year-to-date sales for condos, 29% fewer sales this year versus last year. Listings, 7% more listings this year, year-to-date versus last year. And months of inventory is now at 4.5. Average days on market sitting at 22. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventories are way up there. Whether they're coming up or down on a weekly basis, they're way up there and probably getting higher. Hope you found this information useful. Have a great day.